Hello, everyone, and welcome to our childcare workshop, Connecting to Local Resources. I am Hillary Aid, and I work at the Daniel Boone Regional Library. We have a stellar panel of folks that work in Boone and Callaway and the counties beyond for some of them that are here tonight to share the resources that they have through their organizations. I couldn't help myself. I invited a lot of people, which means they don't have as much time as they probably want. Um, our our plan is to give everyone about 15 minutes total, um, which means that includes the Q&A, and I'm sure you're going to have lots of questions about how to connect with your families to the resources. So please use the chat all you want. Tess is here from the library as well and will be helping me monitor the chat. We also could not help ourselves and have an entire file full of other resources that are not being shared here tonight, but that will be helpful resources for you and the families you serve. So I will post that in the chat, and then we will send a follow-up email as well. If by some miracle there is spare time at the end and you have a specific need for any of your families that you're serving, let us know. There are a lot of brains in this virtual room that could try and help you out. We are going to start with Sarah, and I'm not wasting time introducing you. We're going to spotlight Sarah, and Sarah's going to share.
All right, well, let me get this slide up here. You just didn't want to read the bio, that's what it was. All right, hopefully everyone can see my screen now. Perfect. So I am Sarah Maru. I am the Assistant Vice President, Community Outreach Officer, and Prosper U Director over at Central Bank of Boone County. And yes, the bank just hands out titles like that. So what I really do is I run our Prosper U Financial Education Center at Central Bank of Boone County. So Prosper U is a program focused on providing accessible financial education to our community. So I only get a few minutes, so I'll go through this kind of quick, but I expect a bunch of questions, so please feel free to hit me with them. So less than a third of adults are confident in basic financial literacy topics. I don't know about you guys, but did anybody take a personal finance class in high school or college? Right. One, I saw one hand. Yeah, I went to grad school and I didn't have a personal finance class. So unfortunately, we turn 18 and everybody thinks that we're supposed to be experts at money management. But no one ever taught us how to be experts at money management, right? So even for those of us that are professionals in certain fields, that doesn't mean we're professionals with money management. But financial literacy is necessary to make financially responsible decisions across a whole variety of financial topics. You know, balancing a budget, buying a home, using credit, establishing a retirement plan. Those are all things that Prosper U helps. We try to be a hub of information down here. So you ever walked into a bank and felt like you had to know the answers to your own questions? Yeah, right? Prosper U is the place you come for all of those banking questions that you're not sure about. So we act as a resource to make sure that you have the information in your hands to make those good decisions. So what do? Well, we do classroom and online seminars. I'm fingers crossed in the next couple months, we can hopefully get back into our Prosper U space. You can see a photo of it here. I also do community presentations, much like being here tonight, but I also go to local nonprofits, businesses, schools, any place that I can get good financial education information in people's hands. And provide free one-on-one coaching. So I'm a certified nationally certified credit counselor, too many C's there. So I provide free budgeting advice, free credit counseling, and debt management plans. Not the kind where we pay your bills, but the kind where you make a plan for how you're going to tackle whatever bills you have. You also don't have to be a Central Bank of Boone County customer. Now, I'd love to have you, and hopefully you will join after you enjoy Prosper U, but you don't have to. Our physical space is located at 700 East Broadway. That's where I'm sitting in tonight. So for those of us that need landmarks, really important, right here is CJ's Wings, in case anyone is interested. So we can get some financial education and also some wings when we're done with it too. So the inside, we've got our classroom and presentation area. Back pre-COVID, when things were booming, we'd have 30 people in here in a class in the evening. Also in that blue section and kind of there in the back, we have those one-on-one coaching rooms. In the back of a small group space as well. So if you and a few friends would like to do some financial education things, I also do small groups, right? So if you've got a book club or you've got some friends that you want to get together or your family. And then we also have a community partner office. Back when we were able to have people in this space, I did allow nonprofits to use it for free. I know that sometimes that space is really limited in prime locations. So here is our April calendar. You can kind of see, so our classes run from 6 to 7:30 in the evenings, typically on a Tuesday, a Wednesday, or a Thursday. I try to avoid the beginning and the end of the week because either we're excited for the weekend or dreading the week to have started. So right now, all of our classes are on Zoom. You can see that right now we've got a couple coming up. We do classes on financial topics, small business, and personal. So we'll do things from personal budgeting basics all the way to handling medical debt, how to write a resume, how to market your small business, and everything in between. With Zoom, we talk about being accessible. And I get it, right? 6 o'clock, I gotta make dinner, I got kids to feed, there's things going on. Doesn't matter. It's supposed to be a laid back space to get information. So have it on in the background and just let me know what you're cooking, right? So come enjoy the information and get it as you can. This is a no pressure program. So here's some examples of classes that we've held over the last few months. Resume writing, health insurance basics, how to manage anxiety, how to use and utilize LinkedIn, interview skills, personal budgeting, understanding credit, home buying, tackling debt, how to file personal taxes, how to start a business, how to write a business plan, marketing, website. Again, if there is a topic of need, we try to find a subject matter expert or a banker to be able to answer those questions. Our website is www.centralbank.net/prosper, the letter U. Looks just like this, you can see here. It updates every month with our new calendar. So some classes I do on a routine basis, right? Like the basics, the personal budgeting, the understanding your credit, the tackling debt. And sometimes I'll have one-offs that come in, like the handling medical debt I'm having this month, or personal insurance basics that we're having a little bit later. So again, I try to keep it a little fresh. So new classes come in all the time, new presenters. As people attend classes, you can give feedback on new ones you want to see. And I work to provide that information. Super easy to sign up. So you choose your class, you click register, pops up, you're going to select your class again, fill out some super basic information. Want your name, your address, your email. And that's just so I can contact you in case something happens with the class, right? In case there's a cancellation or we need to change the Zoom link. It's just to get a hold of you. I don't sell that information to anyone. And then click submit, right? It takes 2 seconds per class. So what can you do? Well, there's a lot of ways that you can get involved in Prosper U. You can attend classes. Of course, come hang out with us in the evenings. You can refer friends or family, whether that's to the classes, whether that's to do one-on-one appointments. You can schedule one-on-ones yourself. Even though we may think we're an expert, it is great to have a second set of eyes on all of our stuff, right? Either thumbs up if we're doing it right, or maybe some basic tweaks to do it better. Also, if you're a subject matter expert, I am always looking for those. So if you are an expert in a certain area and you're willing to present a class, come join us. Also share our links. We're really active through Central Bank of Boone County on social media. So go out there on Facebook, share our appointments, share any postings that we have. I know Hillary provides my monthly calendar in her Facebook group. And then partner with us. If you want me to come in to your nonprofit, to your group, to whoever you know, I am more than happy to do it. Again, as everyone is better with money, we're all better. So, okay, did I stay under my time and leaving questions? I hope. So I've got, my name here again is Sarah Maru. I'm the director of Central Bank of Boone County's Prosper You. You've got my phone number and my email address. Feel free to reach out. I am happy to connect with everybody. All right, I'll stop my share and see if I have any questions.
Excellent. Who has questions for Sarah? Just type them in the chat.
Can we just say them, Hillary? Can we just ask? Okay. Sarah, I love your enthusiasm. Wow. I need to hang out with you more often. But I have a question. What's the age? How old can you, like, can they be adolescents under age 18?
Yep, absolutely can be. Now, again, the topic is, like, on my evening classes, going to definitely be focused more toward adults, but that doesn't mean, like, on car buying, I had several 16-year-olds in that class last week. So again, as they're interested, anybody is welcome to attend. When it comes to programming in the community, I've done elementary school, I've done middle school. I really like to focus on high school age and up if I can. Obviously, just because there's a lot of need in our community, and that's really where I want to focus my time.
So personal finance and stuff, I can send my high schooler to you.
Come on. Yep, absolutely. So basically everything that you've been saying, I will reiterate in a different voice. That way it actually sticks. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you, Sarah.
Of course. And yeah, you've got to be enthusiastic if you're talking about finance. It'd be super boring otherwise. And my class is recorded. So right now we do not record our classes because we are wanting people to come engage and attend. Now that may be something that changes in the future. We may do short videos, but as of right now, we don't have recordings. If you can't make it though, send me an email. Let me know what's up. Either we can get a one-on-one together on your time, or more than likely I have another class scheduled that we can get on your calendar ahead of time.
You have any other questions? Type them in the chat. I have to say, yes, Sarah rocks. I agree. On your little chart of things we can do, I have done everything except be an expert, and I do not need to be. No.
Signed up. I'm gonna go ahead and put it on my calendar. Actually, I got a lot of new names of experts here, so I'm gonna get emails later.
But my spouse and I really enjoyed your class, and then we got to do a one-on-one, and it has all been really, really helpful on just keeping us on track together. I think a lot of families could really use what you've got to share.
Yeah, and I'll say I am a judgment-free zone when it comes to money. If there have mistakes that have been made, I have made them, right? So it doesn't matter where you start with us. It's about getting a little bit better each time. So doesn't matter if we've never budgeted before. It doesn't matter if you've messed up your credit. Let's just get better from where we're at. So, and hopefully as people, meet me and interact, you'll realize that, yeah, we're going to make this a laid back, good time to talk about your finances. And there's wings next door, most importantly.
We did our class on Zoom. I feel like we lost out.
It's on you.
So Sarah was gracious enough to show up, but it needs to run off for something else. So really, if you have a question for Sarah, you can do it now. We will also be sending out all the contact information for all the presenters tonight, so that when those questions pop up in the middle of the night, you can reach out. Anyone else have anything you want to ask?
Is this funded through, how are you funded, Sarah?
Through Central Bank of Boone County.
That's fantastic that they do that.
100% funded through the bank, as, again, community outreach, as proof that your bank wants you to do well, right? Like it benefits us when you do better. So
have you ever had, I know you're not doing classes in person, but have you ever done classes out in other parts of Boone County, or are they always here in Columbia?
So I've gone to other parts of Boone County. It's kind of, I'm a one-woman show currently. Wow. So it's as my calendar permits, I'm willing to travel. I've done classes in Vandalia Women's Prison. I've done classes in Jefferson City. I've gone to Booneville. So I'm willing to travel kind of depending on the need and the white calendar space.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Thank you.
Absolutely.
So if a child care center felt there was a need and felt like they had enough staff or parents that would be interested in a topic I'm seeing you nodding. She's nodding. Everyone sees that. Okay.
Yeah, I will say, again, I would love to focus more on the staff or parents. And that's just because I feel like there's a lot of education, especially for the little ones, and a little less as we kind of get older and we're supposed to be the experts.
Makes sense to me. Thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it. We're going to go ahead then and unpin you.
That works. Thank you guys so much. Nice to meet everyone.
And Kelly, you're up next.
Thank you. So I'm Kelly Lucero, and I work at Central Missouri Community Action here in Boone County. I'm the Boone County Community Organizer. Central Missouri Community Action is in 8 counties, though. We do all the same services in Boone, Audrain, Callaway, Osage, Cole, Montauk, Cooper, and Howard counties. And we also have 3 additional counties down by the lake where we provide Head Start, and that's Benton, Hickory, and Morgan counties. So I'm going to try to share my screen. And I'm thinking it's this one right here. There, can you all see that? Okay, good. All right. So I wanted to share with you some of our support services first that we provide along with the programs that we provide. So we have resource coordinators that can work with anybody. They work with the public, and they can assist people with accessing CMCA's programs, but they can also assist people with finding all of your programs as well. And they can work with anybody, small or large goals, whatever, they're good, they're there for you. We also have family success coaches. And because we use the whole family approach, we deal with all aspects that a family may be going through, not just that one program that they're coming to us for. So our family success coaches work with Head Start families and with our Housing Choice Voucher families. I'll talk more about those programs. And they can provide the same kind of services, help them with resources, help them to get into other programs, help them to figure out what they want to do, if they want to move forward with life, and how they want to do that, how the family wants to do that. They work very much with the family and the family support groups. Our financial coaches are there to help people with problems like cleaning up their credit. They might even help them get into Prosper U. They can help people who are trying to get into USDA housing, who may have defaulted on student loans, something like that. Financial coaches can help with those kind of issues. And then we have parent partners in the Bridge program. And they work with families who go into the public schools, and anybody can apply to have their child in the Bridge. They don't have to be from Head Start. But the parent partner works with the family. They do home visits. They also work with the public schools, and they work with the family and the public schools together. They're the liaison between them. They can go to parent-teacher meetings and anything that the family would be meeting with the school, and they might want somebody there. They have interpreters in case the family needed that as well. So I'm going to go into some of our programs that we offer in all 8 counties of mid-Missouri. We have energy assistance, and that begins in November for the elderly and disabled, and December for everyone else. That's the winter program. There's 2 different programs with that. There's energy assistance, which does a first-time pledge to the homeowner's heating source, whatever that might be. And then after that, the family is qualified for the crisis program. And should they get a late notice or a disconnect notice, they can help the family with an additional $800 throughout the winter. And that could be for anything, their gas, their electric, propane, or even wood. We do help people with wood as well. The summer program begins in June, and that is electric only. It's to help offset cooling costs. It only goes up to $300, and that's only if they have a disconnect notice or a late notice. So that's energy assistance, but also part of that is our weatherization program. And it doesn't matter if they're a homeowner or a renter, even the landlord doesn't have to pay for this if the renter qualifies. And they can go in and weatherize a home. They'll put insulation underneath. They put insulation in the attics. They can caulk the windows. It's a pretty extensive program, and they can really reduce people's energy costs. So that's part of our overall energy program. We have the Housing Choice Voucher program, which is formerly Section 8. We are not the office for Boone County. We are the office for Montauk, Cooper, Howard, Callaway, but not the city of Fulton. Cole County, we're really not the city of Jefferson, but they will accept our vouchers. And Osage County. Our housing lists are open. Our wait lists are, a few months. If someone is the HUD definition of housing, where they're living in a shelter, they immediately go to the top of that list. That includes domestic violence shelter as well. But again, we're not Boone County. Those vouchers do become portable after 1 year. And if somebody wanted to move back to Boone County, they could do that. So we also have housing development, and we have throughout our 8-county area, we have a few different apartment complexes, houses we are assisting. We're part of building Cullimore cottages here in Boone County. So we do a lot of that type of housing development, and we're trying to grow that to create more affordable housing because there's a shortage of that. We're application packagers for the USDA direct loan program. This is fabulous. This is for low and very low income people who want to buy a home. There's no down payment. It has nothing to do with their credit score. It has to do with your debt ratio. And the way this program works is they assist people in buying homes outside of any area that has 35,000 people or more. All right, so in our 8-county areas, the only town that would apply to would be Columbia and Jeff City, which would mean you would have to live right outside the city limits. El Chaparral is right outside the city limits. Clearview is right outside the city limits. I mean, we're talking one street over. All right, no down payment, and USDA loan guarantees that their payment will never go over 30% of their income. So the way they do it, and this is up to people, this is for some of you listening here, it can go up to $84,000 for a family of 4 or for a family of 1. After that, it goes into the direct loan, the guaranteed loan program. So even if they made more than $84,000, we can still help them out. So this program, they can stretch out that payment to 38 years. They can lower the interest down to 0.5%. If they can get it low enough, and they do, we have 6 families who now own their own homes through this program this year, who never thought they would ever own a home. They can get that payment down into that range that you can afford. And the great thing about it is it's a little bit like Section 8. Should you lose some income, your house payment would go lower. So this is a great program. There is no requirements other than the only requirement you can have a felony background. The only thing you cannot have is you have defaulted on a federal loan. That's why some of those people who may have defaulted on a student loan, we can help them get that out of default. Or if you've made meth on public housing facilities. It's their only requirement. Everyone else can apply for this program. It's a fabulous program. If you want to find out more, give us a call. We have the Missouri Women's Business Center. If you have a great idea, this is who you need to talk to. And of course, they work with men and women too. I believe they've started over 50 businesses, helped people start over 50 businesses in this area. They can be very creative in how they help you find financing. They help you work on your business plan. Fabulous program. Anybody you know who has a great idea, send them to the Women's Business Center. Show Me Healthy Relationships. Right now, they're working with singles, and they're still doing online classes. They do have incentives for people. They have some gift cards and stuff to help people out with the time that they lost and maybe any expenses they have. And they're currently working only with singles who want to find out more about healthy relationships. Also a great program. And then we have our online resource guide, which is CMCA. Oh no, it's resource.cmca.us. I'll share that. And that's going to tell you anybody, and including most of the people speaking tonight, anybody in 8 counties who will help you with anything. Then we move on to our child education section. So we have early Head Start. We have both center and home-based Head Start. We have prenatal classes even, so they can come to you. Then we have Head Start starts at infant to 3 is early Head Start. And then Head Start goes up to kindergarten. I believe we have about 25 Head Starts in 11 counties now. And to apply for Head Start, you would go to our website, cmca.us, and there's an application online that you can fill out. And it's really this short application. Head Start will then contact you, and that's in both English and Spanish. The Bridge program, I told you a little bit about before, has parent partners who work with families and are the liaison between them and the school, especially when you're just starting off in the public schools. It can be kind of scary. So this is a great program. And the other thing about this is that Head Start and CMCA are able to offer so many services to people that a parent partner is also their access, much like a family success coach, to a lot of the other resources that maybe families don't even know exist. So a parent partner can be a very valuable asset for a family. The Skill Up program. If someone is on food stamps, not on TANF, that's Goodwill MERS does Skill Up if you're on TANF. But if you're just on food stamps, Skill Up can help people with training, with any obstacles they may face in trying to get a better paying job. So they're really good about assisting people on planning their goals and how to attain those goals. Again, you get like a family success coach type person. Mia is fabulous with people, and again, helping them access other programs as well. But they do have some incentives there as well too. They can help people with the cost of education, traveling to that education. There's a lot of great things that they do. And then community organizing looks a lot different depending on what county that is and what's going on there. But we work on bigger community-wide initiatives. So that's probably all of our programs. I know that's a lot of information, so I'm going to share our website. And I know that Hillary also has some of the flyers from our different programs are probably in that drive file. And I can't think of anything else. Oh, energy assistance. This is one thing you can email your applications in, CMCA energy at cmca.us. It can be kind of hard to get through to us sometimes. So there is that option as well. And that's pretty much all I have right now. I know it's a lot. So if people have any questions about that, I can expand a little more.
Is a lot. You all do a lot of things for our community. Who has questions?
I do. I have a question about the USDA program.
Yes.
Is there a number you call, or how do you get in contact with you guys to get more?
Yes, I'm going to put that. You would just call CMCA and ask for housing. And so I'll put that number on here. And I lived in a USDA house in New Mexico when I was 21 years old. I lived there for 10 years. My house payment was $127 a month. I would have never made it through college. The one thing I didn't have to worry about in those days was that I was going to have a roof over my head. And that's a huge worry to take off somebody's plate. So USDA, it's really not that hard. You'll know within about 30 days if you're going to qualify or not and how much you can qualify for. In this area, they can lend you up to $225,000 for a home, provided your debt ratio there, that they can get that payment low enough that it's still less 30% or less of your total income. So it's a great program. So if you live there throughout the duration, you own that home, right? Because of, like in New Mexico, I came in at the lowest payment there. So when I finally sold my home later on, they do a thing called recapture, and they take some of that money back. They don't take all of it. And they make sure you're going to leave there. And if you live there the whole time, that house is yours. You don't owe them any of that part of that payment they paid for you, or what they had to do to get that there. It's an incredible program. So, and I think this is extension 1050. And I'll also add their email is just housing@cmca.us. And they'll send you this little pre-qual application, a real short one pager that you fill out, you send it back, and then it's the government. So you're going to have to get about 2 years of everything you've ever had in your life, but they'll help you gather that all up. That's why we have application packagers. They will help you go through that process. And then when they know that that application is complete and it's ready and they've worked with you, you've gone over your credit, they already know if you have some stuff out there, you fixed it, they turn that into USDA and you're pretty much approved. You're ready to go. You go out and get a realtor. It's incredible. Not too many places have utilized this program. Only, I think City of Refuge is the only people who have been using it in Boone County. And then nobody has ever utilized it in our surrounding counties, which breaks my heart. But that's going to change. We're going to make some homeowners out there.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
That's awesome.
Now, Kelly, with the Women's Business Center, if there was a childcare provider out there that owned their center, is that a resource that would help them in that way too?
Oh, absolutely. Because business is an ongoing thing. You don't just start it and it's all good, right? You got to go on forever figuring out all of the stuff that goes with it. So yes, they'll get a coach. My own son just started his own business. He's right in the beginning and he's got his coach, and she was incredibly helpful to him. The stuff that they know is just, they know everybody. They know how to access the apps that are going to help you with the stuff you need. And yes, they're amazing at the Women's Business Center. I wholeheartedly agree. And if you're even just, a lot of people just go in and say, I have an idea. I don't know if this idea would fly. That's fine. By the time you finish, you'll know exactly what you need to do to make that idea fly. So it doesn't matter where you are in that process, they're available to you.
That is awesome.
Yeah, Launch You is fabulous. And right now, last I heard, and I think this is still true, they've received enough donation that all Launch You is scholarshiped. That's a $275 class that they can get in you for free. Oh, and Nolanda's paneling. Yes, Nolanda too. She's adding some stuff about Show Me Healthy Relationships on how to contact her. And I'm going to upload her flyer because I don't think I had shared that flyer for Show Me Healthy Relationships with you before, Hillary. I just got that one today.
I may have it in there because I scoured, but I may not.
I'll just drop it in here just in case, because it was the first time I had seen that today. I had the referral form I think I sent you. Thank you, Nolanda.
Does anyone have any more questions for Kelly before we move on to Siobhan?
Thank you all very much.
Thank you for being here and sharing all of that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Siobhan, we're finding you. We're pinning you. It's all yours.
Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Siobhan Walls-Taylor, and I am from Faith Family Access Center of Excellence. Let me see if I can find it. I don't know. So what we are, if anyone doesn't know, is that we are a linking agency to resources for children ages 0 through 19 who have a social, emotional, behavior concern. We help them connect to the proper resources to address those concerns. The only requirements to be involved with FACE is that the child is 0 through 19, they're a resident of Boone County, and they have a social, emotional, behavior concern. That's it. That's all we need. Our services are free. We're funded through the Children's Service Fund. So we will be around a little bit longer. Definitely. I do know that. We are a small group of 13. We have clinical case managers who are all licensed clinical social workers. We have outreach coordinators, which is what I am. And we go out in the community, we attend network meetings, we're real active. We go to the schools, we each have a list, group of schools that we work with to make sure that the parents get the information that they need. We help out with registering the families. And so let's see, what else do we do? It's so much that we do. Like during COVID, we lobbied and were able to get additional funding to help provide 6 free hours of therapy service for any family member once the child was registered. That went amazing because it helped families through this time, through this COVID time, when they didn't know what to do, when they were stressed and everything. So we were able to connect families who, one of the reasons was they were not connected to therapists and counselors within Boone County was because they were unsure financially. So by giving them those 6 free therapy services for their child, for themselves, for anybody else in the household who was needing that services. That helped a lot. A lot of the providers we worked with were willing to, if the family wanted to continue on, were willing to work with the families as far as the co-pays or the costs, which was amazing. And we were fortunate enough to get, like, we put out the fillers for like, what counselors, who wants to be involved in this program? We called it the Therapy Assistance Program. And we were fortunate to get Lawrence Oliver's and Associates, Brave, Kindred Collective, Hertford House. It was just amazing. We even, as we continued to do it, we were able to connect with like some private therapists who were like, this is awesome, we want to be a part. So they were willing to be involved. So now they are with us and they're in our little group. So we can still, even though TAP right now, we're trying to get more funds for it. We've got our fingers crossed. We asked, we're just waiting to hear back so we can continue since COVID is still going on. So we have this friendship with these providers that we can still send families to. So that's just been great. Not only do we refer families to therapists and counselors, different kinds, we get requests sometimes for Christian counselors, male, female, people of color. We're able to accommodate those options, but we also connect our families with the other resources in Boone County. Like, we let them know about the food pantry. We let them know about English as a second language, or the HiSAT programs that's at MACC or anywhere throughout Columbia. We let them know about the wardrobe for clothing, different social services, voluntary action, Lutheran Family Services. I mean, pretty much Hillary, I attend Hillary's net meeting. So she knows that anyone that attends our meeting becomes a part of our resources. So we just all work together. So let's see, we've been in existence since 2016. We're here for some more years. We do know that for sure. We've been contracted for another 5 years starting in 2020. So yay, I saw you, Hillary. So we will be around a little longer to be that connected, that linkage for the families. And a good thing about us is our hours, which works well with families, busy families. Our hours are Monday through Thursday, 9 to 7 p.m. Fridays, 9 to 5, Saturdays, 10 to 2. So we try to work where the families don't have to take off work, don't have to pull kids out of school with those Saturday and the evening programs. Fortunately, the good thing that COVID has initiated is telehealth for us. We are able to do the assessments via phone or Zoom, which I think that drove it went up a lot. I mean, like, we were like, I think they said before COVID, we were like at the 52 percentile for engagement. We're like at the 67, 68 percentile since going telehealth. So we did gauge our families, and telehealth is here to stay for FACE. That will be an option, as well as once we get back in-house, the in-person, because there are some people who do want to come in still. They think it'll be better for the kid as well, but now we have 2 options for them to choose from. Hillary, I think there's a flyer. I sent you a flyer. So we have, we're really trying to engage with the kids now that school is back in 5 days a week after being out for so long, and then 2 days a week, and then out, all that chaos. So we're really wanting the kids and the families to know that we can help them get through all that tension and confusion that they're going through right now. So I guess that's it. If you have any questions.
Yeah, if you have questions, pop them in the chat, or if you're one of the panelists, just ask. And sorry, it's harder for participants, but you get to be in your pajamas, so. Siobhan, can you talk a little bit about the blending that is happening with the Boone County Schools? I'm not going to get the words right, but you know where I'm going, right?
Youth Mental Health Coalition.
Thank you.
Yes. They have merged. We have taken them in, so they are now a part of FACE, so that they can continue to do the awesome work that they are doing with providing those mental health assessments in the schools and helping the families still connect to resources. So they have become a part of us. So what we're doing, because they've become a part of us, and from my understanding, the school system, Dr. Steepleman went to Boone County's commissioners and mentioned that the counselors needed help. They needed inside help. And so they said, why not give it to FACE? Why not make it a part of FACE? So now we're looking to hire 8 to 10 in-house crisis case managers. So they will be there to help the counselors in the schools when a crisis occurs, when there's a SI risk. And so they'll be right there with the family when they're contacted. So they will be assigned a set of schools. They'll also be in throughout Boone County. And that's Sturgeon, Ashland, Centralia, Hallsville, Harrisville, Sturgeon, I think I named them all, and Columbia. So they will be around. But we also have we're able to hire another clinical case manager for FACE to help with that load as well. So we'll go from 5 clinical case managers to 6, and then the 8 to 10 that'll be in the schools, plus the coalition. Yeah, we are going to be very busy. And we're trying that. We were really hoping to have people in place or getting familiar with the schools before the end of the school year, but it's not looking like that's going to happen. But they'll be all ready to jump in when school starts next school year.
Awesome. And I know that when I toured FACE, pre-COVID, when there was a special way for like police officers to bring in youth that needed help, or for schools to help completely directly connect by bringing families in. Since you're all working at home, are they doing that via telehealth too, or how's that working?
So we worked with the policing throughout Boone County, and we had a portal developed for the police officers, for Boone County sheriffs, Columbia PD, all the PDs in Boone County. We have a portal where when they interact with the families, and they can gauge which way to go with the situation. They can talk to the families. We have a special card called the Blue Card. They can give to the families so that they know about FACE, and if they're willing, they can right then and there on the spot refer the family right then. So then we will just take over from there. Once they refer the family, it comes in through the portal. We reach out to the family and engage with them that way, so that they can get into the services instead of going through all the legalities. But we're still working with the juvenile courts. We're working with the family division courts. We're working with pretty much everybody to stop that trend, them developing a background. So We've been engaging a lot, and they have really, really, really used that a lot. We come in, especially over the weekend, we may come in and there's 4 or 5 referrals waiting for us from officers for families that they feel would be best off working with FACE instead of the other route.
So glad that's an option.
And hopefully we'll be back soon so we can have our special little way to come in, because we had a way to come in when the kid was picked up at school or picked up by the police, where not to continue the embarrassment or the shame. We had a different door for them to come in, so they went right into a special area just for them, where they can sit down and talk to the police, and the family can come in and they can talk and meet with the case managers right then and there.
That is awesome. I took your time with my questions. Who else has a question for Siobhan? I'm not seeing any, but we'll give out your contact information for when they come up. It looks like Tammy is next then. We'll get you highlighted.
All righty. Can you guys hear me? My office has the worst internet on the planet for some reason. Whoops. Did I go away?
Nope, I made you big.
Okay. I just want to make sure that you guys can still see me. And I shouldn't take my whole time, because we go really quick. And so my name's Tammy Byington. I work with First Chance for Children. Our main office is here in Columbia. The services that we provide are for families with children birth through kindergarten entry. We do work with pregnant mamas in their last trimester of pregnancy through our Ecpbs program, just to do a couple initial visits before we deliver the crib, or it's actually a 3/4 size portable crib with a bassinet attachment. But I'm just going to go down our programs and services, and then I think I sent Hillary my handouts and stuff that can be in the packet. The first thing I want to say is the best way to contact us or to engage with us is through social media. So if you go on and you follow or like our First Chance for Children Facebook page, we usually have an update almost daily about the things that we're doing that week or that day. We also have the Lend and Learn Toy Library Facebook page. We have an Instagram account that's First Chance for Children. And then we also have a website that www.fc4, the number 4c.org. And that's the best way you can message us, or you can peruse kind of our services, and you can just contact us. We have somebody who responds pretty much immediately to any messages through Facebook or our website. So primarily we have 5 programs, and our goal is to come alongside parents as they parent their littles and provide that strengthening families concrete support at the immediate time of need. So our first program is our baby bags program, and this has changed a little bit over the last couple of years. It used to be just a baby bag full of kind of cool stuff you would need the first couple months that you had your baby. So there's a back to sleep book in there. There's a child safe proofing kit in there. There is also, we've given tons of these away during COVID because it's got the thermometer in there. So it's got the health kit in there. It's also got a bath ducky that tells you what temperature, if it's too hot, your bath in that bag, and a very first safe sleeper. So a little safe sleeper. Parents can access these all the way up for the first 12 months of a baby's life. So if any of you are working with a family, either agency members or childcare providers, and you have a new baby in your center, or you have a kiddo under the age of 12 months, refer the family to us. We serve all the counties that touch Boone County, as well as Osage County. And I'm not even sure how we started serving Osage County. We've been doing it for so long so it's all the counties that touch Boone County, plus Boone County, and then Osage County. So we can get all of those families. There is no income eligibility requirement through our baby bag program. So either ask for it through Facebook, contact us and comment on something in the comment section of our website, and we'll have family, or you can call me. All the calls really right now during COVID that come into our office come to my desk, and I'll comment in the chat what my phone number is, but when I get finished, so families can just call us and get that baby bag. Another part of that baby bag program that we have as additional funding during COVID is we've received some extra funding for emergency diapers. And right now, the third week of each month, we're running, and I think I put April's diaper drive-through flyer in the stuff that I sent Hillary. We're running 3 to 4 diaper drive-throughs that are completely no contact. Families stay in their cars, they drive through. We have one in Ashland, we have one in Centralia, we have one here in Columbia, and then we're also partnering with Rock the Community on that Saturday food and diaper drive-through. This month it's on, I believe it's on the 24th. And they hold that in the Parkade parking lot. But what families can get is they can get a package of diapers for each kiddo, and the sizes are newborn all the way up to 4T pull-up, and a package of wipes, and then an activity page for a month of different activities you can do with your kiddos, an activity a day. And right now, we're serving about 150 families through diapers in-house, and then with partners like Voluntary Action Center, CMCA, Parents as Teachers, and some other community partners that we're working with. We're giving away diapers to about 500 additional families a month. So for you childcare providers, if you're having a family that's having a really hard time getting diapers to bring to you, or they're having a hard time getting diapers to use at home, again, have them contact me, or come to one of our diaper drive-throughs, or we do a one-time diaper drop-off where if they're at home and they can't make it in and it's a crisis, I block off between 5 and 7 on my calendar twice a week, and I just go around and I'm the diaper fairy, and I deliver diapers here in Boone County. So if you have a family in real crisis, have them contact me, because we have diapers, we have tons of diapers, and we need to get them on babies. Our second program that I'm really, really, really hopeful for in August, we've crossed our fingers, and we're really hoping that we can open our Lend and Learn toy libraries in August. And so we have a library here in Columbia at 1010 Faith Street, and we have a library in Centralia that's on Highway 24, and we share space with the Boone Hospital, kind of Boone County building. Up there, we have a little space up there that we have a toy library. At both toy libraries, families can also pick up diapers as well. Since COVID, we've gone to a different delivery service of Lend to Learn, and we've taken kind of a cue and kind of an homage to the library, and we've started doing these little activity library kit checkout toys. They're not as cool as the Play is Learning kit, but what we've done is we've taken a theme. So we have 20 of these, and this one is Baby's Little Builder Kit, and it's got, oh my gosh, it's got so much stuff in here. So it's got blocks, and it's got a dump truck with a little guy, and it's got a couple books and a puzzle, and then inside it also gives you an activity page to tell you what to do with the kit, what's in the kit. So once you get it home and you're like, oh my gosh, what was in that kit? And you're trying to find it. And then it also has some extension activities that you can do with things around your house that are similar to this after you bring it back. And so that's really how we're doing Lend and Learn right now, but hopefully in August, we're really hoping, and we'll keep updating our Facebook pages and our Instagram accounts to let families know when we're going to reopen Lend and Learn again. The third program is our Safe Cribs program. Oh, and I just wanted to say, there's no income requirement for baby bags or the diaper program. There's no income requirement for the Lend and Learn library or our activity kits. And the third one, there's no income requirement for, is our Safe Cribs program. And our Safe Cribs program really is a safe sleep program. We deliver a 3/4 size portable crib with a bassinet attachment and the sheet, as well as safe sleep information. Again, childcare providers, if you're finding a lot of parents who are coming to you exhausted saying, I'm co-sleeping with my infant and I'm struggling with it, come call me. I'll get them a crib and get those babies in a safe place to sleep. And so other agencies that partner with us, CMCA partners with us, we're so tiny. We have to get partners and help them deliver our services. So Parents as Teachers partners with us here in Columbia, as well as Prairie Home. We have a couple of other, Harrisburg can deliver our cribs. And if they don't deliver cribs in your area, again, give me a call. How the cribs program works is we deliver the 3/4 size portable crib with the bassinet attachment and the sheet. And then we also do 5 follow-up visits once each month. Right now, we're having to do them as a Zoom call because we're not going into homes. But we do drive by after we do our phone or our Zoom visit, and we drop off diapers, wipes, and a book for the baby for the first 5 months, just to kind of insulate the families from that need of all of those diapers that they're using. And again, no income requirement. If somebody doesn't have a place for their baby, have them call us. The last program that we have is our Baby U program, and it's a very intensive home visitation program. It does have an income requirement. Families need to be WIC eligible, but they don't have to participate in WIC. And we provide intensive home visitation with the Parents as Teachers model, as well as the Nurturing Parenting model. And it's kind of a blended model we use. We do child development, we do stress reduction, as well as kind of tangible resources. If we're visiting with a family and they need clothing, we connect them with clothing, or we go out and we purchase clothing for their kiddos. If they need formula for their baby, we're able to get that. In some cases, if they're in need of services to help them get meals or things like that, we can do kind of a whole kind of interesting array of services. That program, we serve about 75 families total. It's kind of a real inclusive kind of little group of folks. We have to do all those in-house. So, and there's only a few of us that do home visiting. So, did anybody have any questions? I do it really quick and I talk really quick.
I have one with the diaper drive. So, we encounter a lot of families who are in need of assistance, but I cover 9 counties. So what about those counties, because you said your coverage area is Boone and then the counties that are touching. What about for those folks that are living in that county that is touching? Can they still come to a diaper drive, or is that only for Boone County residents?
No, they can come in and go through the diaper drive. And we're trying to think of a way to maybe have some of our out county partners, the county that isn't Boone County, partner with us to have a diaper drive. It's kind of a logistical craziness because there's a lot of stuff that goes into doing one of those diaper drives. But yes, any of those families in any of those counties can come in to Boone County in our diaper drives. And we usually tell families from other counties that want to come in, we tell them to go to the Rock the Community drive-through on that Saturday morning, because they also give away like a really cool blessing box full of food. And so they can get diapers and wipes and the book and then a blessing box of food. And I think they serve up to like 150 to 200 families on the parkade parking lot. So, and that one this month is the morning, 11 to 2, I think is the time. It's on my flyer, April 24th.
Don't forget to mention the kits, the take-home kits that my kiddo goes crazy over.
Yes, I will grab one. It's right behind me. I always forget that. So since we had to go away from our Lend and Learn group events, we've been doing these stay-at-home, play-at-home kits. And this is one from, I think, back this winter. And what it is, it's activity pages, this was the fall kit. And then a month, supposedly, we try and make at least a month worth of activities. So you get all of the information for the activities, plus you actually get kind of all the stuff to do most of the activities in there. And this month, April's, is Earth Day and all about our environment. And we worked really hard, and Charity went almost crazy. Everything in it is it's all recyclable or single use. I think there's only one piece of plastic in the whole kit, and it's a watering cap for when you plant your seed. So you can access those through our Facebook. You can request one on our Facebook, and I think Charity's got a really neat little link that you just click on and request a kit, and she's here Tuesday mornings and Thursday afternoons. You can swing by and pick them up, or she'll drop them off, or you can request one and swing by anytime our office is open, and we'll get you one. Thank you, Hillary.
Don't forget that you've gone the extra step. Now families can get those, but there's an educator specific list of resources on your website and in your newsletter too.
Right. So you can, if you are an educator, home childcare providers can click on that link and download the activities that we have. Thank you. I need you to come with me all the time.
They're just so great. And my kiddo loves them. And she hasn't ever met Charity. So she's ready for the germ to go away so that she can meet her special friend who has given her all the activities to do with Baba. Because she and Baba do the activities together.
Well, we are hopeful that come May or June, we could start doing our group events and then build them around those kits. So hopefully the germ goes away and we can all get to do that.
Does anyone else have any other questions about First Chance? I don't see anything in the chat, Tammy. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Tina is up next.
Hello, everybody. So before we begin, let's just say how many of you have heard of or attended an MU Extension event? Yes, no, maybe. Oh, okay, I got some hands. All right. So tonight, what I'm going to just kind of talk about is what do I do within MU Extension, but just to kind of explain what MU Extension is we are the arm of the university that brings research to our everyday person. So we offer all kinds of programs that center around different core areas. For me, I am human development and family science. So that means I am tasked with providing educational opportunities out from birth all the way through those elder years. And so I cover Benton, Boone, Cooper, Montauk, Morgan, Pettis, and Saline. And I'm excited just to kind of share all those different things that I do and the programs that I can bring up to you and to your community. So we're going to take a quick perusal through that. Did it share correctly? Hopefully. All right. So again, I am MU Extension's voice, but I'm going to just kind of start first with what does that look like from our end? So I want you to meet a couple of my friends. This is Dan. Dan is a 67-year-old farmer, and he is caring for his aging parents. He's part of that sandwich generation. And he is really struggling to, how do I care for not only myself, but for them, and then also my grandkids? Because in Boone County, 13% of our population is over the age of 65. So he's not alone in his struggles. We may have a lot of colleges here, but our elderly population could also use that hand, because it's about 20% of all households overall that are including the sandwich generation now. And so Dan knows some loneliness. And one of the things that we really chat about is those early stages of life. The more stress that they have, the more likely they are to develop Alzheimer's and dementia. And so it's almost equivalent to smoking a cigarette pack a day. Like, I can't even imagine. So when we really think about that, we're also thinking about not only our farm and our ag population, but we are thinking about our everyday individuals and our youth. Because that picture on the right is our youth who understands loneliness and isolation, especially in the age of COVID. She's spending a lot of her time at trying to get those school activities, but she is also working. She's depressed, and she's quite possibly suicidal because she knows somebody who has died by suicide this last year and who has been a victim of 2 different violent crimes. She's actually unable to access a lot of our mental health services. That's why this is really especially important that we are making all these connections tonight, because Boone County's population that's also living in poverty right now is about 17%. And Cooper, another county I cover, is about 18%. And another county that's right off the corner there is Benton, which is 29%. So when we think about what is Extension does, we really start looking at what are those wraparound services we can provide that really think about fostering a better community. And so for me right now, I'm centering on 3 particular areas, which is that family and youth development, the mental health initiatives that we're bringing out to our communities, and really thinking what are those other programs that really hit in on community engagement. So for youth and families, we're thinking of them as the foundation of our society right now. And those main principles we really want to think of is how are we helping them get better? How can we build them stronger? So some of the things that we do under that would be those family strengths modules. We teach family and parenting classes. I'm able to do that virtually or in person. Some of those classes are held right there at the Family Impact Center right downtown, which is on our bus line, or can provide some other opportunities. When we do that in person, we'll also provide childcare. So those families can really hop in, take those classes, and then take those skills forward. Focus on Kids is our divorce mediation class that is required by the court. Boone County is not holding these in person right now. However, you can take that class online, or you can come visit me in Booneville and you can have that class in person. I really enjoy that. So along with those, as we really think about those health and nutrition programs, Liz is our health and nutrition specialist for Boone County, and she is able to provide a lot of programs for those individuals who are maybe SNAP eligible, some very specific food to plate programs at our food banks, or maybe an organization who is giving services out. So I was thinking First Chance for Children, that diaper drive, we need to make in contact. But she does offer other programs from Walk with Ease, Stay Fit, Stay Healthy, Tai Chi, and some other opportunities. It really thinks about holistic health in all realms of life. Now, when you think of MU Extension, a lot of people think of that 4-H fair. I will tell you, we are more than 4-H Extension, but we really do think that those opportunities are really important for our youth. So when we're thinking about those after school groups or activities, I can partner with 4-H and one of us can come out. So right now we have a partnership with Southern Boone YMCA. Every Wednesday from 3 to 4 is MU Extension Day, and we're there every time with those kiddos, and we're learning a program or an opportunity to extend learning of all the different things we offer. So one of the things that's going on this week that I also do is I do the child care provider trainings. You can do those virtual or in person. And this week was about grief and supporting our youth as they are in child care facilities. We are child care facility specific with that one. However, that is a really good program for everybody and individuals. I've had lots of individuals say, I wish I would have known, or my kids are going through a divorce right now, and how can we support them? So just kind of thinking about those educational opportunities where we can step forward. So kind of thinking about mental health, remember that teenager from earlier? We are also really honing in on mental health right now. We have a mental health grant through NIFA that is providing those educational opportunities for free right now. So some of our programs, such as mental health first aid, taking care of you, QPR, or Respond, we're able to do that right now without any cost to the participant. So I'm going to call attention to one specifically. I'm partnered with Children's Grove on their mental health and kindness week, or their kindness month right now. I'm very fortunate and thankful for that. We are offering an in-person, yes, in-person mental health first aid for individuals who work with youth. That is May 1st. It will be at the Family Impact Center. And some people are like, I don't really need that. What I'm telling you is if you engage with anybody under the age of 18, this is an opportunity to hear about a lot of those mental health struggles that they're going through that are developmentally appropriate through those years. And you'd be really surprised, but if you're engaging in a church group, if you're the PTA mom at the football game, this is an opportunity for really to think of those noticing skills. Okay, so I'm going to highlight a couple more programs and move on. Heroes to Hives. Heroes to Hives is for our veterans, those individuals who may be struggling with their own mental health. What we do is we partner them and we teach them those beekeeping skills. So it helps our environment, but it also gives them an opportunity to engage with others that have had the same lived experiences. Once they learn those and they get those beehives up, they become a mentor for the next class. This is a statewide program, and we have several locations. We're expanding this next year as well. So this particular class, I think, just started, but we are still taking applications for some other individuals if you're interested in this particular program. I do want to call attention as well to April being Child Abuse Awareness Month. If you check out our social media, you will see posts from me popping up all week, at least twice a week, just kind of reminding you of those childcare initiatives and why it's so important for you to be willing to step forward and step into those engagement opportunities. All right. So thinking of community engagement and why I'm on this panel with all these other wonderful individuals is there are some opportunities that we are also doing. I'm on a grant right now. I realize that tax day seems only, so far away, but we really do want to emphasize that earned income tax credit is actually underutilized because a lot of people don't realize that they do qualify for it if they file their taxes. And you're saying, I don't need to file taxes because I don't have income. You probably have income. So let's chat. We will have to chat with Prosper U as well so we can get this educational opportunity out there. A new training that has just come to the forefront. I'm passionate about diversity. And so we have stepped forward into the conversation of what are stereotypes and biases. So if you know of a group or if you yourself want to attend a course that's just kind of just stepping into that really kind of hard conversation about stereotypes, we welcome myself and my coworkers, and we're welcome to step forward into those conversations with you. Similar to Skill Up from the CMCA organization, we teach the Neighborhood Leadership Academy. This academy is a 10-week program. It starts in August and it runs for 10 weeks. And this particular program is looking at community engagement. So what is that one community project that you want to know how to do by the end of this? So what we do is we connect you with leaders, we connect you with policymakers, we really hone in on what are your leadership skills and how do we connect individuals with that. At the end of this project, you will, at the end of this course, you'll have a project that comes out as a community level project. And we're gonna help you get that plan together to see how can we make it happen? And then how can we really create a better opportunity for those that are surrounding for you? So an example of one of those that came out of the Mid-Missouri cohort last year is one of our local churches decided that they wanted to start a Bible garden. And so at the end of this, they had a plan, an action plan, and some opportunities partnered with us to hold those educational opportunities as well. So again, drop me a line, or if you want to know about some opportunities, or if you would like to sponsor somebody to attend this, we are definitely looking for that partnership. And then we also are going to recognize that we're on lots of different coalitions because we are passionate about what we do and we want to engage in our community. And so we do have the Boone County Food Policy Council that we just got in on, as well as some other opportunities. So hopefully it kind of gave you a big overview of what I do and how Extension is making a difference in our community. My contact information is up there on the screen, but Hillary has it as well, along with lots of other opportunities that we have. So if you have any questions, please let me know.
Whew, take a deep breath.
I know, I can get that fast though.
Who has a question for her?
Tina, question for you about your Ouch, That Stereotype Hurts course.
Yes.
Who is the target audience for that?
So right at the moment, that particular audience is target 18 and above. We could probably get some 17, 18-year-olds into that class, but I want to preface that by saying one of the situations in one of the videos does talk about an adult situation. And so they would not have that lived experience. But yes, it's an hour-and-a-half training. That particular training right now is for free. We are holding that virtually and in person. So
cool. Thanks very much.
Sounds really cool. Anybody have specific questions for her? I can't think of anything you didn't think of, so.
I know that was a lot of information, and that's like a drop in the bucket. Like I didn't even talk about like master gardeners or all of our, soil testing opportunities. Yeah. So, cause that's not me.
You put on Facebook. Oh, Laura wants to know if your trainings are on the website.
Some of them are. I'll just be honest. Our website is kind of confusing. So unless you know the title of the program, you're probably not going to know it. But if you drop me an email, or yes, all the ones I mentioned are on our website. They are also on MU. So if you do Facebook or social media, if you go to the MU Extension Facebook page, the bigger one, you'll also find all information on all of those programs. If you go to the specific Boone County one, you'll see a lot of them as well, because I really try to stay active and push those programs forward.
And I stock those pages. I have a reminder to check everybody's Facebook pages weekly, and I put those in our Early Childhood Connections Facebook group for child care providers and folks working with kids. So if you're not in that group, please join. I'll pop the link in too. I didn't know you had a Boone County specific MU extension, so okay.
Yep.
Got it. Any more questions? Okay, then our Our next crew is Vicky and Rayma, and I didn't know who's going first or how should we spotlight you on Zoom?
I'm gonna go first, and then I'm gonna toss it over to Vicky.
That's Rayma first. Oh,
Hello, friends. So great to be with you all tonight. Also, shout out to Hillary for all of the behind the scenes work that you've done on this. Thanks for organizing it. I've learned so much. So I am here to talk to you all tonight about Ecpbs, which is the which is the Early Childhood Positive Behavior Support program. So unlike lots of the other wonderful people on here, this is just one program, and I'm going to walk you through it a little bit, and hopefully you will leave here having known a bit more. So just a quick speed through. I'm going to talk about what Ecpbs is, who we are, what we do, and how we can help. So we are a program that goes into early childhood program environments, so centers, in-home daycares. We really focus on targeting ages 0 to 5, and we work with the child care providers in the center to increase their abilities to build relationships with children in their classroom and the families that they interact with and come from, promoting social emotional development, because this 0 to 5 window is really critical and lays the foundation for school readiness. And, this is a really crucial period where if we can get kids equipped with their social emotional skills, they get to then stay in the classrooms and learn and reach all of those milestones that kind of domino for just really successful life outcomes. And so we are based off of the PBIS model to look at what is the entire classroom, what are just some best practices that we can help teach, coach the teachers in the classroom about or overdoing, so that they can then implement them and reduce problem behaviors for the majority of their kiddos. And then for the kiddos that is helpful for, but not all of the way and need a bit more extra support, we then have ways that we can kind of help troubleshoot that with teachers. With our coaches. So this is our wonderful coaching team. We have universal coaches, and so those coaches work on getting those 6 strategies ready and really implemented into the classroom, so that teachers feel strong and are coming from a base of, okay, I'm doing everything that I can be doing that is going to make a supportive environment for all of my kiddos, but I might need a little bit more help. So we have the kind of preschool version of that, and then we have an infant toddler version of that. And then for those kiddos that need a bit more support, need, a referral to one of the other wonderful people on this call or beyond, we have a behavioral consultant who works with kids, either one-on-one, oftentimes in small groups, where it's just explicitly teaching those social emotional skills, that regulation component for kids, so that they can get the most out of this 0 to 5 period and be successful, or really be set up for success further on. So what we do is we primarily work with providers in childcare settings. So we have trainings that we do weekly coaching sessions with providers. Oftentimes we'll kind of go to administrators and be like, okay, depending on how big a site is, because we work, with sites that have 100 kids, and then we have in-home sites where there are maybe 10 or 15 kids. So it's a really big continuum. There's no minimum of children that we are looking for in a site. It's just, we're looking for people who want extra support. So we can come in and just be another brain, be another person to lean on, because it's really difficult to be an early childcare provider in the best of circumstances. And the best of circumstances usually never happen, and especially are not going to happen in a pandemic world. So we work with providers. We have conversations and trainings about how we can build relationships. And also we model that with the relationships that we build with the teachers in the classroom, with the kids in the classroom. We are finally, we've been able to get back into the classrooms over the last couple of months. And that's been really, heart-filling to get to play with kids and just like get more kid joy interaction. And then that hopefully, that then spills into relationships with their colleagues, relationships with the families that the kiddos come from. And then all of this kind of builds up to, okay, so we have a relationship. Now we can work on, here are the things that will help your classroom run smoother, give your kids expectations and boundaries to kind of navigate their day with those universal strategies that will then teach them to regulate, teach them the skills that they need to succeed in a classroom. So yeah, how we can help. So coaching, it looks like physical visits where we go every week. It can look like emailing to follow up or just emailing to check in, phone calls to do the same. We've had some really creative Zooming situations going on that are still going on a little bit too, whether it's propping us up in a classroom or doing a small group over Zoom, just however we can support. If the teacher is willing, we are there too. We also provide trainings for teachers in the Ecpbs program for free for clock hours over different subject matter, like, here's how you can prevent burnout or build relationships, or what do you do if you have a child who has a challenging temperament or behavior. We also work with sites on developmental screenings. So we have a training over the ASQ3 and ASQSE, but just all tools that they can add in their toolkit that will help them navigate their classroom more confidently, have more background knowledge, and also just, get more out of it and enjoy it more. And then we also have, I feel like this is like maybe a little known secret of Ecpbs, we offer parenting seminars for parents of sites that would like it. So it's an offer for all of our sites. It's difficult because parents are very busy, especially if they're going to be parents of young children. But it also is a wonderful way to build that relationship and get a sense of, center-wide community from parent to parent. So those are just, a snapshot of our offerings. And I think I'm going to kick it over to Vicki before we do questions. Is that all right, Hillary? Okay. So Vicki, over to you.
Thank you, Rayma. Good evening, everyone. It's so nice. I love when we get to meet and learn about everything. We are so lucky to live in the community that we live in. It's awesome. And I forget about these great programs that the wonderful panelists have been talking about this evening. So I'm actually going to tell you about the program that we have, and I'm going to try to share my screen. So let me try. Does everybody see a big green thing in front of them? Okay, I'm going to get better with my technology and making things look pretty. But let me tell you about this awesome program that we have called the Child Trauma Initiative Program. And we are so lucky to have this program here in town. It is a federally funded program. We receive the funding from Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration, also known as SAMHSA. It is through the National Child Traumatic Stress Network. And so we were able to receive funding to develop a therapeutic kind of clinic in which we can offer different modalities to individuals in all of Central Missouri, so not just Boone County, that need services, therapeutic services that have gone through a traumatic event. So I will kind of go into a little bit detail about all of our different programs. Again, this is free of charge for our parents. And so that's phenomenal that we have the ability to do this. So okay, let's see now if I can get to the next screen. That would be helpful. Very good. Okay, so what is the Child Trauma Initiative? We do have different funding streams. So this is a program that we will have for the next several years. Our Child Trauma Initiative that's funded through SAMHSA is funded for 5 years. So this is a program that's not going away for several years. And then also the great work that we're doing, I know we'll just be able to continue that support. So we're able to do different programs, like I mentioned, but we also have the luxury, I don't want to say luxury, but we have the honor of being funded through Boone County Children's Service Fund for child parent psychotherapy. We have had this funding since 2015 or 16 for this particular program. It is so wonderful that they're able to help us. So they do help fund our individuals in Boone County, but like I mentioned earlier, we do have the funding to support other families throughout Central Missouri. So what is CTI? We have those 3 different programs I'm going to talk a little bit more about, but they are all evidence-based programs. They are the up-and-coming modalities to be offered for children that have experienced some sort of a trauma. They are all trauma-focused. One's called child parent psychotherapy, one's called trauma-focused cognitive behavior therapy, and the third is called trauma and grief component therapy for adolescents. Again, like I said, they're all evidence-based, they're flexible. We can tailor them to the child's needs. We can provide treatment in the office, in the home, or by telehealth. So we have the ability to do all 3. And I would say right now we are actually doing all 3. It has proven to be a little difficult to do therapy for our youngest children by telehealth. I'm not going to lie. I actually had a kid during therapy put me in the closet and shut the door. And I was like, I am one of the therapists, but I was like, hello. And all I got to see was the closet. So it can be stressful with kind of stressful with some of our kids. So I personally, as a therapist, prefer to do in the office or at home, but we do have the capability of doing it through telehealth as well. So what are these modalities? Like I mentioned before, we have 3 of them. Child parent psychotherapy. I am the CPP coordinator. I'm also a CPP therapist, but I think this is so great. And a lot of people don't even know that this is out there because it is the leading trauma-focused evidence-based treatment for children from birth. And I did say birth, so that's 0 through 6 years of age. So this is the therapy that is needed for these kids because it's a dyadic therapy. And what I mean when I say dyadic, it means there's 2 people involved. So that's the child and the primary caregiver along with the therapist. And that caregiver could be a biological parent, it can be a foster parent, it can be a relative caregiver, it can be whoever that child is currently placed with. And we address trauma-related symptoms, but we really focus on attachment issues. And why is that so important? Because we understand that relationship between that child and caregiver needs to be I guess I want to say we need to encourage and increase that relationship to restore any type of sense of safety. And also it helps the caregiver help the child to regulate their affect and their behavior, to make sense out of the world around them. So I love this therapy because I actually get to work with parents and break that cycle and teach parents. I mean, we parent what we know, right? How many of us have said, oh my gosh, I just sounded like my mother? Or, oh my gosh, I just sounded like my grandmother. I mean, we've all done that because we parent what we know. So we can't fault parents for parenting in an inappropriate way if they don't really know how to parent. And so we have the opportunity to meet the parents where they're at and to bring them up and strengthen that attachment when that child is young. So that parent that, let's say, was raped, that parent that's gone through domestic violence, that looks at that child as being the abuser, the rapist, right? That has put all of their anger on this child and then doesn't want to have anything to do with the child, has kind of detached from this child. What's this child going to be like at 2, at 5, at 15, at 18? What is that relationship going to be like if we're not able to help support it, repair it, give the parent a place to really work on those attachment issues? So I love CPP. We've been doing it in Boone County since 2000 and, like I said, 16. We have a team right now of 5 of us. We're all rostered in CPP. And so we have done this for several years, and we have the ability to work with the youngest of the young, the littles of the little. And so I just love this program. Average is about 20 to 32 sessions or weeks. I will say, though, a lot of our cases, we go a year. When you think about attachment and attunement, it is really putting that foundation piece down. So that can take a while. And so I do have cases that have gone over a year. We are funded through Boone County Children's Service Fund in the Boone County area, but we're also able to pick up CPP clients outside of Boone, and that is funded through our SAMHSA grant. So that is CPP. Our next particular modality is trauma-focused cognitive behavior therapy. This is the leading trauma evidence-based treatment for children 3 to 18. So how CPP is more developmentally appropriate for 3 to 5-year-olds. So usually when we have the younger kids, we do go ahead and put them in CPP, but this treatment can be utilized for kids 3 through 18. This is a program that's a little bit more structured in the sense that we work individually with the child, but we also work conjointly with the caregiver. So unlike CPP, when we're really focused on that attachment and attunement and that dyadic relationship, this is more of us really working through the trauma with the child. But we always bring the caregiver in throughout therapy, either every time we meet or every other time we meet, to really let the child and the caregiver work together through this trauma. This is where we really we work on trauma symptoms. We talk about the process of the trauma. We enhance parenting strategies as well. And we try to improve that parenting relationship. It's a component-based therapy, like I mentioned. So that CBT, I'm sure a lot of us have heard of CBT. This is a trauma-focused CBT. So it is a component therapeutic modality in which we have different types of coping skills. But throughout the whole thing, we gradually kind of include the traumatic event. And so I can tell you right now, different cases that we have, we do have a lot of trauma out there, unfortunately. I took a referral call today for a kiddo whose grandmother was shot in front of him, and she did pass away at some place in Ohio, but he lives here in mid-Missouri. We do have a lot of domestic violence cases that come through. We have, I'm trying to think of right now, we have a lot of kiddos that unfortunately have witnessed sexual abuse, or they have been a part of sexual abuse or physical abuse. And so we have kiddos that have suicidal thoughts. So we have a big range of different traumas that kids are going through. Again, it gives us the opportunity to really hone into the trauma, teach children different ways to be able to regulate their emotions, to be able to talk about the trauma, to enhance safety, parenting strategies as well, and to improve that relationship. Average is 16 to 25 sessions, and this one pretty much does stay to about 16 to 25. If we feel at that time there's another trauma that might come out, we might continue, or we can also move them over to what we call our clinic, which is our non-trauma therapy. Our next therapy modality, again, we are actively I would say we, the 5 of us, are actively being trained in a learning collaborative for TFCBT that will be 18 months long. So our next one is called Trauma, Grief, and Component Therapy for Adolescents. This is for adolescents, so 12 through 18, that have gone through some type of trauma where there's a sense of loss, bereavement. So it is where there's grief that has arisen because of the traumatic event. And so we really focus on different components of this as well with the psychoeducation and coping skills. We talk about the trauma, but we really bring in the bereavement. It's 18 to 24 weeks long. The neat thing about this is it can be done in groups. And so we are going to start reaching out to different community members, talking about how we can get groups started for our adolescents that have gone through loss. Right now, we have a sibling set that have recently just lost their 2 younger brothers to a genetic disorder. And so we're, working with them through that grief process and through the bereavement process as well. So different type of trauma modalities that we go through. I'm trying to speak fast. I'm sorry, Hillary. As I mentioned before, some of the things that hang on, I need to move that. We are able to provide learning collaboratives for our community therapists with the fundings that we have through SAMHSA. And so what does that mean? We have several different therapists throughout mid-Missouri and here in Boone County, but through other places in Missouri as well, in which we have had trainings for the trauma and grief component therapy, the trauma-focused cognitive behavior therapy, and we'll be starting our child parent psychotherapy here in the summer of 2021. And we'll have another learning collaborative in 2023. So there's a group of us that are going through this learning collaborative and being able to implement it in our clinics throughout Missouri. So I'm really excited that we have the funds through SAMHSA to provide that as well. Let's see, other activities. We do outreach and education to community agencies. We talk to community members. We work with parents and caregivers. We work pretty close with FACE. Sandy Miller calls me pretty much every single day. And so that's great. But we work with a lot of different members in our community as well as doing outreach. I will tell you, when one person hears about you and they have good luck that everybody from that community comes, Fulton is banging down our door. So we somehow got into Fulton, which is called Bush Elementary, if anybody knows anything. Yep. And so they are banging down our doors as school social workers. So we have a lot of kiddos that we have from Fulton. And Sedalia. So it just goes to show that, we all know, right? We know that these families experience trauma. We know that these kids see things and experience things that changes their lives forever. And so I am so grateful that I get to work for an organization in which we can provide free trauma services for these families and for these kiddos, and collaborate with other community agencies to better support these evidence-based trauma modalities and screenings that we have. So how to make a referral. So it's for any kid birth through 18 with a trauma difficulty can be referred. So what is trauma? Right? So what does that mean? Because there's a big difference between life stressors and trauma. A life stressor might be a divorce. A trauma might be the separation during a divorce in which that parent that was a participating parent is now completely absent. And so when we look at trauma, it's a sticky wicket. So trauma, when you look at what we have as our DSM-5, which is my diagnostic statistical manual for all diagnoses in the world. If you go underneath trauma, there's specific things that need to be met to be a trauma. But how are you guys going to know all of that or remember all of that? You don't need to. Just call me. So just call me or have the parent call me. I spend a great deal of time. Another great thing we have with this grant is it gives me the opportunity to do a really thorough intake call. And I'm the one that does all the intake. So I can be on an intake call for 45 minutes because I have the funding that allows me to really get into this family and find out what they need so that, we can send them to the right areas as well. So please have them, anybody that they can call me. The number that you see on the screen is our generic line and it goes to me eventually. However, this is my number. So 884-6843. Go ahead and just give me a call. And if we don't have a modality or if our services are not deemed appropriate for that particular individual, I will find it in the state where they need to go. So please just give us a call. That's what we do. I have no idea how long I talked. If anybody has any questions or anything, again, my name is Vicki Daywalt. So you can reach me. Did I stop sharing? Did I stop? Oh, nope, I didn't stop sharing. Okay.
There you go.
This technology stuff. So I think I might have gone over a little bit, but I'm so glad that we have this in the state of Missouri. We are blessed to be able to support this program.
I feel like your programs are programs people don't know about and they need to know about.
Right.
So talk as long as you want. Tess and I can send out a giant email about library resources later. It's fine.
Well, if anybody has, if you have any questions or, the unfortunate part is we are seeing what I saw last summer was an increase in parental suicide. And so we saw a lot of kids. In fact, I have a kiddo that actually was 4 years old in the home, and nobody was there for 5 hours. So he just sat with his mom for 5 hours because, you know, and a lot of that's taking place. There's a lot of mental health issues. And the unfortunate part is that she had postpartum and lived in a rural area in Missouri where people just didn't know what resources to give her. And so they left her at home with, you know, things that she could harm herself with. So it's out there. We are here. So please come find us.
We're so glad you're there. And that Rama's there too.
I got her number now. That's what I'm saying.
You can call me.
I got one that's gonna. I'm
Call me,
gonna send
Tina.
that tomorrow.
Yeah, I say that. I say that every day. I'm like, I can't believe this case. And then the next day I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this case. Yeah. And it's not, again, like it's not I don't blame parents. I don't blame society. I just blame the lack of knowledge, not knowing what to do and being in a crisis like we've been in the last year and the stressors that go along with that. So please call me, Tina.
I saw you. I mean, you gave us your number. I am trust me, you're going to hear from me.
Good.
But what's the insurance? Do they have to? Does it have to be the primary caregiver? Because I work with a lot of kinship parents and kinship families. So what are those requirements?
Right. So what we do for Boone County Children's Service Fund, they have asked us that if we can bill their insurance for anything, co-pays, deductible, we go ahead and bill that. And then Boone County will pick up the rest. So no cost to parents. And with our grant with the NCTSN, so all the other services, no cost to the parents. So we will ask, because we are through the Department of Psychiatry through the University of Missouri. So we are housed in the MU Child and Adolescent Clinic. They will be asked if they have insurance when they show up. And if they do, they will probably, you know, see if they can get a deductible out of them. If they can't, then they won't. But it's no cost. It's free. That's a long answer. Free.
No, I'm also thinking like I said, I cover 9 counties. I have some families who are, I mean, you said Sedalia. I do have some families that are between the two, and those telehealth services would be vital because getting to Columbia is virtually impossible.
So I will say that, you know, we can do telehealth and we've been able to do it and we have been successful. Trauma is a sticky wicket for telehealth, because if I'm doing telehealth and I have a child on the other end of the screen that I'm reading their body language, or if I can't see them and they are saying things that are throwing up red flags for me, then I have to call the parent and have the parent go and check out the child. So it does make it, because it's trauma, a little bit more tedious, but it can be done. Our younger kids, though, they do kind of put us in the closet. And just kind of, you know, like, bye, Miss Vicky. I'm like, okay. So, but it can be done. And so Sedalia, they're actually, that family's actually coming. But I can find other, I mean, we since we are rostering so many people with this grant, we have the ability to train individuals in these modalities and then roster them. We have a pretty good list. So right now we have people down in Greene County, down in Springfield, Ozark, and other areas where I have people that will call us, and then I can refer them. Does that make sense? Because we are spreading the wealth as much as we can.
Thank you.
Whatever
Thank you for your phone number, which is dangerous.
So call me on my phone number as opposed to the go-to phone number. It does eventually get to me, but the other one is me, or email me. But thank you so much, Hillary, for letting me be a part of this and share my enthusiasm for the trauma work that we're doing.
Thank you so much for showing up and being here. Does anyone have any questions for Vicki or Rama?
I'm thinking partnerships. I just keep thinking with all of us, we play in the same playground. Sometimes we play in the same sandbox. And I'm just thinking of how Rama, I'm like, we need to partner. Like if I teach a parenting class, which I know you do too, but there's some opportunities where you could also be working with a childcare provider, because we see that, you know, it's not a one size fit all solution to any problem. So yeah.
Tina, I was already going to email you because I want to come to that course. So you'll be hearing from me.
Okay. And I think that is what is so cool. I don't know if anybody, I mean, I love this little tidbit, but back in, what year was it, Raymond? I sent you the video with Michelle Obama, 2016, 2017, where Michelle Obama was talking about the work of Boone County, Missouri, this little county in the middle of Missouri, Boone County. And she goes on to talk about the work that we're doing here in Boone County. And it's so cool that we are. And yet, we still sometimes forget everybody's there. So the work that we can do to connect is pretty cool. So that's why, Hillary, thank you so much for always remembering to pull us back together. I appreciate that.
It's my favorite part of my job.
Like, pull us back. So yeah, and like your webpage, I'm always like, oh yeah. So thank you for that too.
You are so welcome. So here's where we stand. It is 8:21. You all who are here for clock hours get to go very soon. Tess and I were going to talk about library services, but I'm going to spend a minute on something else instead. What you're going to get is a link to a Google Drive folder. And you're going to see flyers for all of the wonderful presenters that were here today. You are also going to see services that you have probably heard of, like Voluntary Action Center, but you might not know all of their services. There are also new programs that have been popping up. So I don't know if you've heard of Safe Families for Kids, which is a program that is working to help parents keep their kiddos in the home, but they might need some space. They might need some time. They might need to go to recovery or to have some time to find housing. And so there's another family that has been trained and will take care of their kiddos and work with them. And the kiddos won't end up in the system. They're going to be almost like just a little net to catch them for a little while. There are all sorts of programs that have been popping up, and I'm doing my best to put all those flyers in this folder for all of you. And I'm also doing my best to get everything we see on Facebook for our connections group. So please invite anyone you feel would do well to have access to these resources to that Facebook group. And you can post. We've had childcare providers come on and say, I've got a family that's deploying, I need some resources. And of course, you know us librarians, we made a book list, we put it out there, but there were also other organizations that said, hey, we have this program for families that are currently in the armed forces. We've also had people ask potty training questions, that sort of thing. But if you need a resource, it's a really nice, almost 700 people in there, actually almost 800 people in there that can help you figure out what you are looking for and find it. So join that. I am going to do a link real quick to the survey. So, clock hours from the state. I have to prove that you were here, and I can't see any of your faces. So there is the required survey of hopefully some of the things you learned today. And I just popped it in there. I'm going to chill here. I'm on vacation for a couple of days after this, so we will send out an email with all the information about the library. Don't worry, Tess. She doesn't have to talk. Look at that. I'm gonna play one of our library videos. We've been putting together all sorts of online videos on music and movement and recipes you can do at home, as well as our story times and stuff. And I'm just gonna play it in the background as you do your surveys. But please put any questions you have in the chat. You'll be getting contact information for all of our lovely speakers. And thank you for being here. Right? Now let me find the video.
Hillary, would you like us to go ahead and do one of the surveys? I mean, if we were here to learn about other programs, the panelists.
I'm really only required to turn it in for the clock
Okay.
hour.
I didn't know if the more the merrier for you, like number wise or just any wise.
I certainly wouldn't be sad to learn that you learned something too.
I learned something. Thank you.
I have to say with this video that I'm going to show, it's cool to work with people who can do this. One of my coworkers did the art. One of my coworkers wrote the music. They made their own little stop motion video, and it is. We did it. We all did it. Everybody made it past bedtime. Talk about all the resources we have. I just want to thank all of our panelists one more time. I want to thank all of our participants one more time. And I will, as soon as we leave here, I will send you the link and it will work because I've told it to. Thank you, everybody.